Sarawak list finalised for SUKMA Games, digital economy and value creation. Those are the headlines for tonight. I'm Lorenzo Isaac and this is TVS Nightline. Athletes commit hours on intensity trainings even during off-season to maintain competitive effort and achieving their personal goals, regardless of their sports. Minister of Youth, Sport and Entrepreneur Development, Sarawak Datuk Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, reminded the public that each athlete have given their utmost best in representing their respective country at international level and not to disparage their effort. He further stressed that it is always important to give full support to our national athletes in good and bad times.
Abdul Karim was commenting on a local press that disparaged the nation's diving queen Dato Pandalela Rinong's recent performance in the Commonwealth Games.
I was a little bit disappointed when I saw online today, specifically Berita Harian, whereby the comment was Pandalela balik dengan tangan kosong. Yeah. I mean, you all are reporters. There are many ways of writing, putting captions, you know. For somebody to be representing the nation, they must have been training from morning until night. You know. Can you imagine? She is our... I'm not being fanatic, overly supporting Sarawak athletes. But whether she is a Sarawak athlete or whether she's a Malaysian athlete, West Malaysian athlete, you don't treat our national hero just because they could not get medals.
He told these to reporters after officiating the 9th International Congress of South Asia Pacific Psychology Sports Association on Tuesday. The Malaysian diving contingent would be heading home from the 2022 Commonwealth Games without a gold medal as the event concluded on Monday. In the first of two final diving events at the Sandwell Aquatic Centre, Shafiq Puteh and Noor Dabita Sabri bagged a bronze medal in the mixed synchronized 3-meter springboard final, with Gabriel Gilbert Daim and Ng Yan Yi finished 7th. Minister of Youth, Sport and Entrepreneur Development Sarawak Datuk Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah announced that the list of athletes has already been finalised for the upcoming Malaysia Games 2022.
SUKMA, Sukan Malaysia, is a mini Olympic for the different states in Malaysia, you know. So the other states are also making their own preparation. We are making our own preparation. Every SUKMA, we have always been within the top 5 in Sarawak. But then, if we want to become champion, we must be, our athletes, our coaches, our officials must have that kind of mindset, one step ahead of all that.
Furthermore, Abdul Karim said Sarawak is targeting at least 44 gold medals to held at the Federal Territory of Kuala Lumpur in September.
Rural folks, especially in Kapit, are urged to leverage on digital economy. The inclusive purpose-driven sector spearheaded by the Sarawak government aims at accelerating the urgency for agility, adaptability and transformation, while responding to the challenges of today and leading into the economy of tomorrow in elevating socio-economic status and changing the economic landscape. Premier Dato' Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, whose text speech was read by Utility and Telecommunication Minister Dato' Julaihi Narawi during the launching of Sarawak Multimedia Authority Rural Telecommunications SMART in Kapit, noted that the rural communities are the backbone of the state.
Ekonomi digital adalah untuk semua rakyat Sarawak. Ia adalah merupakan sektor baru yang dibangunkan untuk mencapaikan status wilayah maju menjelang tahun 2030.
Therefore, it is essential to ensure that the communities could participate in the dynamic digital ecosystem and projects like SMART that plays an important role in realizing the government's aspiration.
Dengan adanya internet, masyarakat luar bandar di Sarawak akan diberi platform untuk mengembangkan tahap sosioekonomi dan membina pangkalan perusahaan kecil dan sederhana yang kuat dengan menjalinkan pertalian baharu pada peringkat tempatan dan juga antara bangsa. Hal ini akan membuka skop yang lebih luas bagi komuniti pedalaman untuk menjadi usahawan yang berjaya dan seterusnya mengubah landscape masa depan ekonomi Sarawak.
According to STEC, there are 51 SMART projects planned in Kapit, with 14 are to be completed under Phase 1 of the rollout, while the rest will be completed under the second phase. The Sarawak's education sector will move forward with the intensive programs rollout implemented by the Ministry of Education, Innovation and Talent Development, MEITD. Its Minister, Datuk Roland Sagahwiin, said with the programs, Sarawak was not affected by the stagnant education system.
He added his ministry and his educators played a pivotal role in elevating the education system of Sarawak.
Arranging this program is not something that will not bear fruit. And also arranging this program is also done by people with expertise. And they are the ones who knows the needs of the future. So we're actually not stagnant.
Roland added that the programs have been beneficial in retaining a quality education system statewide. He was commenting on a statement issued by the Senior Minister of Education, Datuk Dr. Muhammad Razzi Jidin, on the Malaysian education system has been stagnant due to unwillingness to make changes. At the same time, Razzi also highlighted that during the push for the abolishment of the UPSR and PT3 national exams, some teachers and other stakeholders had opposed the move, saying that the school were ill-prepared for in-class and school-based assessments.
The implementation of the Dual Language Program, DLP, in the Malaysian education system has entered the 6th year since its inception. Resembling the previous educational policy, DLP emphasizes the use of English as a means of instruction in the teaching and learning of science and mathematics. Minister of Education, Innovation and Talent Development, Datuk Roland Sagahwiin, said the DLP program has the potential to generate human capital development and a resilient community by 2030.
Sagah added English proficiency elevate fresh graduates' demands in the job market as it correlates with the needs of the Industrial Revolution IR 4.0 era.
There were a lot of complaints that graduates are not being employed because they can't speak proper English. So now we want to do away with all that so that there be no excuse by multinationals to say that they cannot employ our graduates.
He said the ability to converse in the English language is an added value as most resources online are written in English.
And reading materials are more widely published in English, which can facilitate the teacher's effort to plan and implement teaching and learning in schools.
At the same time, Sagah stressed that all educators need to enhance their teaching and learning sessions by involving numerous activities such as exploring local cultures and exercising. For the record, the Dual Language Program DLP was introduced to improve English proficiency among students in 2019. It became a hot topic after the Ministry of Education MOE was asked to review the implementation of DLP as teachers and students face challenges in teaching and learning science and mathematics in English.
As the younger generation embrace the digitalization and gig economy, it is only right for teachers to pay serious attention to the plight of students who do not want to further their education in tertiary studies. This is a pressing issue for both educators and policymakers to resolve, as the country cannot afford to have a generation who have missed out on their education. Recently, a survey indicates that school leavers amounting to 72.1% conveyed their interest to work rather than continuing their tertiary education. More worrying is the fact, recently highlighted by the Higher Education Minister in Parliament, that around 17,000 public university students had quit their courses last year. Among the main reasons were easy money and fame, opting to be an influencer or venture into services such as e-hailing drivers. However, most educators considered that education remains vital for the future. Here are their thoughts on the matter. Besides the wasted opportunity and personal loss to the students, not completing their tertiary education may adversely impact the country's efforts to produce skilled workforce and maintain its competitiveness. According to a teacher, Ahmed Faisal, a lot of students are confused between money and the value of education.
This is likely that the student misunderstand the importance of knowledge with the priority of finding money. And I believe students choose to work in the field of e-hailing and becoming a social media influencer because they are influenced by the luxurious and money lifestyle. Actually, they forget that there are potential in areas such as TVET and vocational skill has a brighter future for them.
Meanwhile, Ahmed reminded his students to take up vocational skills so as to prepare them for a brighter future ahead, especially in Sarawak is rich in its natural resources such as the oil and gas sector.
As a motivator, I prefer all students to think about choosing a career with a brighter market in Sarawak. I remind all the students to take the opportunity to learn vocational skills such as automotive, mechanical, welding, because Sarawak will lead to the oil and gas industry as well as renewable energy. I encourage the students of Sarawak to take this opportunity.
At the same time, he would like to suggest to the Ministry of Education to empower more skill-based system to identify students' potential at an early stage.
My suggestion is that Ministry of Education can prioritize fund in learning school. And schools should empower with 21st century education and project-based learning. In addition, prioritizing the digitization of education such as coding and programming so that students are more inclined to be innovative and rather to choosing the career in the service industry such as e-hailing.
Tessie Rijem expressed her worries that there will be a lack of working professionals in the long run if the students opt to follow the current job trend.
This issue is worrying and concerning because 30 to 40 years from now, we will have lack of professional in so many fields. And personally, I think teenagers nowadays are heavily influenced by social media. And in social media, they are exposed to so many influencers, good or bad. And some of influencers, they show luxurious lifestyle just by doing review on mobile games, on products, and etc. And some of them even boast about failing in examination in school or even school dropout and still make a lot of money. There is nothing wrong with making money, but without knowledge, it won't last.
Tessie would also like to remind the youth to use social media moderately and urge parents to monitor their children when it comes to social media. She also acknowledges the support of the government and mentions that this requires a long-term effort with strong support from the society. Meanwhile, Nasmi Rosli opined that the students are eager to earn money fast due to socio-economic factors, leaving them with uncertainties about the future, thus opting for a more conventional way of leaving school instead of continuing their studies.
Kids have been exposed to this kind of environment ever since they're in primary school. Some of the parents, they didn't see this is a win for them, for their family. They rather see their kids helping them in the farm, helping them to run their business, helping them in their garden, helping them in their paddy field and all that. I have a student, 11 years old, who work with a lodging company. Yep. They bring the heavy machinery to repair the road for this lodging company here in Sarawak. And this kid earn like 800 ringgit a month. 800 ringgit a month is a very, very big money for them. So this is caused by the exam-oriented teaching and learning style we have here.
Nasmi said prioritizing education must also start from the parents' perspective. Coming up right after the break, Queen's batik on display. Anti-party hopping bill does not apply to senators. Right here on TVS Nightline. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Over 40 batik designs produced by the Raja Permaisuri Agong, Tunku Azizah Aminah Maimunah Iskandariyah are on display at Gallery Prima from August 8 until September 18. A post on Istana Negara Facebook page stated that Her Majesty graced the launch of the exhibition on Monday. Marks the first private art gallery to gain the approval of the Raja Permaisuri Agong to display Her Majesty's exclusive work, namely block printed batik, which is one of the oldest traditional batik making techniques in the country. During the launch, Her Majesty was accompanied by Princess Tengku Puteri Raja Tengku Puteri Afsan Aminah Hafizatullah Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah. Her Majesty also graciously consented for Gallery Prima to display 12 works by the country's best batik artists, Ramli Malek. Several of the works on display are part of Her Majesty's private art collection and have never been exhibited before. The exhibition also features 42 artworks of 37 established and emerging artists like the late Datuk Chua Tian Teng, Chua Xiao Keng, Yusof Ghani, Abdullah Jones, Fauzin Mustafa, Mastura Abdul Rahman, Zaharin Muhammad, and Raja Ahzar Idris. The Constitution Amendment Bill number 3 that prohibits members of parliament from switching parties does not apply to senators or members of Dewan Negara. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob, when tabling the bill for the second reading at the Dewan Negara today, said the matter was agreed upon by the Special Select Committee after taking into consideration several inputs.
The decision was made because there are two categories of members of Dewan Negara, namely those appointed by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong and those selected by their state based on their membership in the State Legislative Assembly representing their respective political parties. Thus, the Prime Minister said the provision to ban party hopping does not apply as it requires consultation and consent from the Yang di-Pertuan Agong if it involves members who were appointed by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. He added that all senators and other stakeholders would be provided with an explanation through an engagement session first before the amendment to the Constitution on party hopping be made for members of Dewan Negara.
Now on to some international affairs. Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida was among officials paying their respect in Nagasaki on Tuesday, August 9, as the city marked the 77th anniversary of the atomic bombing that instantly killed over 75,000 people. Speaking to a crowd that included Japanese politicians, local leaders and foreign dignitaries, Kishida expressed sympathy for the people that died in the nuclear blast and those who continued to live with its effects.
内閣総理大臣としてここに犠牲となられた方々の御霊に対し謹んで哀悼の誠を捧げますとともに今なお後遺症に苦しむ方々に対し心からのお見舞いを申し我が国はいかに細く険しく難しかろうとも核兵器のない世界への道のりを歩んでまいります。このため非核三原則を堅持しつつ厳しい安全保障環境という現実を核兵器のない世界という理想に結びつける努力を行ってまいります。
The Nagasaki atomic bombing came 3 days after a US B-29 bomber, the Enola Gay, carried out the world's first nuclear attack on Hiroshima on August 6, 1945. The bombing killed approximately 140,000 out of an estimated population of 350,000, with thousands more dying later of injuries and radiation-related illnesses. Torrential rain knocked out power, caused slips, and left roads and subways submerged in and around the South Korean capital of Seoul overnight, leaving at least 8 people dead.
Authorities on Tuesday, August 9 said the southern part of Seoul received more than 100 millimeters of rain per hour on late Monday, August 8, with some part of the city having received 141.5 millimeters of rain, the worst rainfall in decades. According to Korea Meteorological Administration (KMA), the accumulated rainfall in Seoul since midnight Monday, August 8, stood at 420 millimeters as of 5 a.m. Tuesday, with more rain forecast. Meanwhile, as floods inundated the glitzy dense Gangnam district, some buildings and stores were flooded and were without power, while cars, buses, and subway stations were submerged, leaving people stranded. Lim, a 31-year-old office worker and a mother of 2 sons, was told to escape on Monday, August 8 afternoon, as she was at the basement level of the library in central Gangnam. However, she was stranded and was unable to make it home.
강남 한복판에서 홍수 때문에 40여 명이나 한 건물에 고립되는 상황이 믿겨지지가 않았고요. 또 타이타닉이 생각나서 너무 무서웠습니다. 집에 어린 아이들이 있어서 빨리 집에 가고 싶었는데 10분 거리임에도 도저히 갈 수가 없는 상황이라는 게 정말 믿겨지지가 않았고요. 이런 상황들이 생기는 게 기후변화 때문인 것 같아서 오늘에서야 정말 실감을 하게 되었습니다. 무릎 정도까지도 벌써 물이 차 있었고요. SUV도 둥둥 떠다닐 정도로 물이 많이 불어있는 상황이었습니다. 도저히 집으로 갈 수가 없어서 주변 상가에 들어가게 되었고요. 상가에도 물이 빠르게 차오르는 그런 상황이어서 4층으로 올라갔고 또 상가 4층의 필라테스 센터에서 하루를 보내게 되었습니다.
As more consumers demand products and services that do less damage to the environment, companies are adding sustainability to their core operating principles. To know more about the topic, join guest Eric Van Pigelen on Sejahtera Asia tomorrow with host Jonathan Ding and Fatah Bolhanuddin, 7:45 a.m. only on TVS Astro Channel 122 and My Freeview. See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. Just a click away by heading on to our official website at TVSTVMY or follow us on our social media platforms. That's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching. Good night.